Hello, is it B you're looking for? If so, you're on the right stream, everyone. Welcome to the B stream. It's Onset and Bravo.
My stream.
There you go. A little bit late on the queue, but we had to wait a while to get into this game. So welcome everybody. TSM versus Complexity is the next game. We're going to be bringing you live to your eyeballs and ear holes. We're going to have a little bit King of the Hill to start this series off here on Recharge. As we take a quick look at Pool A.
Also, make no mistake, this is a pretty juicy series, right? If you talk about, TSM has looked really good. Of course, we just saw the Shopify series earlier. We've seen additional series beyond that as well. And you have to think about this team has to put together their end-of-year run. I feel like online, already taking down Optic, already taking down FaZe in big events, leaving a little bit to be desired on SLC. It kind of tees up the perfect story for this team in terms of maybe riding the ship to be on championship form in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at the Complexity side as well. Some of these players, I would say, hugely improved in recent events as well. And the one I'm looking at in particular is KingNick. I think KingNick's really started to finally find a little bit of the form we were expecting maybe at the start of this game. From his gameplay and some of the statistics he's been putting up, both online and offline. And I'm excited to see if this Complexity roster can keep kind of enabling him to do what he's been doing recently and continues to find some success, because this is a really tight series, I feel, between these two teams when you're looking at it on paper.
I agree. I think these are just like workhorse, gruely grinder teams, right? All 8 players in this lobby have just put so much hours into professional Halo, and it just showed, I think, great teamwork on both sides of the stage as well. And early on, it's TSM with the initial lead in your bottom hill.
Carbine in the hands of Druk. A little bit of damage going to be peppering across map, but already you can see Complexity have broken through pipes. I managed to find a couple of kills. They should have stepped inside of the hill, but Taulek's trying to collapse on it as the last player alive here for TSM. Surviving long enough here at pipes for the teammates to spawn over at gold, so they're going to have pretty good access to this hill. But Complexity are just eating up quite a bit of time here, even though they get that first kill. It's still a 3v3 here, and you can see they're a little bit worried about stepping into that hill.
It's going to be interesting, Mark, to see what Taulek does. By the way, he's already 8-3. What he's able to do in this series, because if anyone caught the Shopify series, we didn't really see Taulek going full Taulek mode in that series. He was shut down a bit, if you ask me. And he's already 8-4 here in this one. I'm curious if we might, just because Complexity with the seed that they have and with the tier that they are compared to Shopify, if we're going to see Taulek maybe go full beast mode here.
Well, we're going to see them go down 1-0 at the moment, because that's going to be Complexity getting the first hill in their name. As we now move our attention over to blue in the tunnel. Camo's going to be down bottom mid. SoulSnipe's going to grab that one and scoop it up and pop it.
3 out of 4 players negative on Complexity, and they get the first hill. Definitely a sign of concern for the side of TSM. Let's see if SoulSnipe can turn that around.
SoulSnipe will be able to pick up a second kill here. We'll be able to move towards that shock rifle, which just came up. Mental, though, is going to spot him out, and KingNick is going to listen to the communication from his teammate to finish off that kill. So Camo, pretty much, not really too much of an effect on this cycle of kills, as TSM have managed to just get about half of this hill already capped.
Manny does as much as he can, but he gets absolutely clobbered in the end. 2 dead for TSM, and we'll see if Complexity can turn this one around as well. Let's not forget, they were trailing by a pretty similar deficit. Maybe a little bit less of a deficit, but on the first hill, and they turned it around. And now here comes the progress, and here comes the push.
I just want to commend you on the use of clobbering.
Thank you. Actually, I felt good about it.
It's clobbering time.
It's kind of a very specific move, you know, the clobber.
Yeah. 2 dead on the side of Complexity. He made that 3 dead. Last alive. He's going to be taken down as well. That is a clean sweep of kills.
Oh my, Mental.
But Mental's still alive. Mental causing some problems. Finally, TSM will manage to flush him out of the back of blue. So it's going to be across the map here for Complexity. A long way for them to go. This could be a couple of kills going the way of TSM and maybe the hill as well.
RyaNoob. Neither player could really find each other, but KingNick
stuck around there, right?
Yeah, it really did. Once again, tied up essentially on this second hill. And this is going to be a big hill in the game. Could even decide really where this one goes, 2-0 or 1-1.
10-7 Taulek, if we're on Taulek 1, which we still are. On the other side of things, it's going to be Cherished, the only player who is positive at the moment. Druk being a nuisance. And found himself a pogo stick or space hopper, another option.
I think pogo stick.
Yeah, I think space hopper doesn't get that much air.
Yeah. Man, remember pogo sticks? They're kind of dangerous, man.
I feel like maybe they're like one of those things that just come back.
Yeah, like
invest heavily in pogo sticks after this. It's going to be 1-1 to TSM as they do manage to close out that second hill.
It does feel like there's a better version of the pogo stick, like without a doubt, right? Because if you just hit that thing on the wrong angle, like heaven forbid you hit kind of an uneven part of pavement, you were going like to the right pretty far. and then into the ground.
Maybe if we combine modern advances in AI
I think
and quantum computing.
Pogo Stick is definitely ripe for AI innovation.
Yeah. 2 minutes 45 left on the game clock as the game is still tied up. Next camo is going to go over to Taulek at the moment. He's 13-7, having a good impact on this game. Nick is trying to sneak him out at the moment, or should I say scope him out. Sneak him out doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Killing spree for Taulek, though, is going to continue his ascent towards double positivity right now.
Good math from you.
Just made one mistake. I'm blaming it on a lack of coffee in the morning.
True, you were slightly under-caffeinated. That is true. I'm going to have to take that into account when I think of everything.
Taulek just trying to find the kills at the moment to flush out complexity from this spawn at the elevator. By doing so, he's going to allow the rest of TSM to be able to progress across the map, but there's a flank coming in here. Mental. And he manages to find one. You can see nobody really wanting to step in that hill as yet. It's all about controlling these spawns before you make the play on that hill.
Manny's going to have more targets, though, coming in. Right now, pretty good damage. We'll see if the team can come out. He might be able to isolate the first 1v1. And the second. Oh my word. I think he had help from a friendly plasma there as well, but what a play to stay alive in the back of the base, and just a patience for Manny to isolate the first 1v1, and that's all you could do. You take one battle at a time, and you never know what's going to happen with the second battle, and that was beautifully done.
You know what they say about Manny? The fans like to cheer. He's the Manny. And that was a great example of it, I think.
I don't even know what to say. Sometimes it's best to say nothing at all.
1 minute 52 left on the game clock. We're getting to a point now with the TSM side really struggling to get back inside of this hill, and complexity taking some of those advantageous spawns. The TSM have got to win this next fight to convert this hill. However, the Mysticky,
I'll tell you what, that's one way to do it.
is going to be backed up by another one off the wall. The explosive damage will finally take him down. Taulek now 18-9 at the top of elevator, and Druk inside of this hill. TSM are going to be able to capture this. No one from complexity is close enough. TSM will manage to go up 2-1.
Yeah, really nicely done. RyaNoob, he gets caught. KingNick also gets caught. This could be big time off of immediately 2 dead as well. And there's only 2 players alive on Sneaky. Numbers, good shots from Taulek as he's 20-9 now. Numbers alone should dictate that there's some progress here.
Yeah, that was 4 dead. RyaNoob's just come off the spawn, so TSM are going to be able to soak up a good amount of hill time here.
Hill soakers. Kind of like the super soakers.
Remember super soakers?
That's
like one of those things, by the way. You know, it was the one present you didn't get as a kid.
Yeah, deep nostalgia for the CPS 9000.
Never got one of them.
XP 95. Shout out SuperSoakerArmory.com, legendary website. It's like still.
I remember you showing it to me.
It's like 1992 still.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents didn't have enough.
Didn't allow you to go on the internet.
Disposable income to pay for one.
Well, they were expensive.
Yeah.
Also, remember the backpack ones?
Yep.
They were so heavy.
That was the one I wanted, Andy.
Yep.
Thanks for bringing up those repressed memories.
No problem. Happy to do it.
Well, Complexity might be looking back at this game with some repressed memories if it doesn't go their way in this next hill. TSM fully in control with just over a minute left on the game clock. And with 3 dead for Complexity, they could be well on their way to actually capturing this hill. Cherished is last alive on the long haul. Taulek says, don't worry, I'll go get him.
He does, yeah.
And get him, he will find him at least.
Got 2 nades now to also just bang 1, 2. Cherished stays alive somehow. And not done yet, actually. It's a...
He's our Manny.
That's a big trade, actually, though. So it's 3 dead. RyaNoob, last player alive. He's probably not in a position to stop this hold. Actually, he gets in the hill. Who am I to say? Who am I to stop RyaNoob?
50 seconds left on the game clock now. TSM looking to close this one out. I think at 3-1, it might be a little bit too much of an ask for Complexity to take this game, with the bottom middle hill being the next one. But they are still flooding through blue, flooding through tower.
Here's the question. How soon and do they play time? In this scenario, it's kind of right in between.
Complexity will be able to push through here and do a good amount of damage and pick up a couple of kills. So Complexity have managed to flush TSM out.
This is a big moment.
Back of blue.
Big moment here. This is...
Keep it shooting.
Peaky. Haven't seen anything that peaky since the blinders.
35 seconds left on the game clock, but Complexity have got control of the hill. Now TSM are going to have to break, and in these situations, you always start to get a little bit nervy, especially when Cherished is starting to find a couple of kills that maybe he didn't have the right to get. Complexity a few moments away now, and TSM too far away to convert this hill. It is 2-2. Repressed memories, reveal yourself.
My goodness, and by the way, somehow, having to push through tower, they get it done, and it felt like TSM certainly had the opportunity to hold off that push. They're unable to do so, and now it's going to be Cherished with it. Ammo as well. It's a good forced burn.
I always feel it takes so much out of you when you try and play a little bit of clock, try and play a little bit of time, and then it gets stolen away. And then with only like a certain amount of time on the game clock, momentum is on the opposition side, and they start to feel like this is a win more than a game they're just trying to stay in. We are going to go to overtime by the looks of things in this game. Shock rifle still in the hands of SoulSnipe here for TSM. See that on either side. Mental gets chirped in the cheeks. Finally taken down. That one's a little bit more clean. Cherished is going to find the trade, though.
Into OT, as you say. 2 dead for Complexity momentarily, but still an opportunity for TSM to get a little bit of time, and the Shroud will go down. And a few more kills to mop up here.
That's a really smart Shroud, actually, because it protected the hill player. It allowed them to deny that line of sight from where Complexity were trying to push. So Manny wasn't really trying to do anything but help his teammate out in that situation, isolate the lines of sight that he had. And now they've got Complexity spawning to a gold, splitting over at an elevator as well, and TSM have good control.
It's true. The Shroud really is always so useful for the utility that you rarely see it kind of exclusively on very creative LOS denials, but absolutely love to see it. Love to see what they have in store. TSM once again leading on the hill, but we've seen them throw multiple hills in this game away that they have been leading on, but it was 3 dead yet again for Complexity. Is RyaNoob first one in the hill again?
Steps in, baits out a couple of nades. Very smart and something you have to be aware of, even in a 3 or 4 dead situation. You think you've got full control of the map. You've got to remember your opposition is going to come off spawn with a couple of grenades each, so just making sure you bait those out, don't give away a free death is
KingNick's like, where the hell did that nade come from? It's incredible to watch from this POV. Poor guy. He had no idea. Poor nade. 2 dead.
Getting loud, we can hear him. Starting to just pick up the pace and the volume. Here, Complexity, and you can understand why. Like you say, 2 dead still. Minute left on the game clock, and we have essentially a tie game on this hill. We also have a tie game, literally, on the score.
SoulSnipe flushes out the first one. That's 3 dead. This should be a pretty convincing hold. SoulSnipe trades as well, which is massive to keep 2 dead. And now with Druk holding down these sight lines, they know awareness on bottom A as well as top control. This should be the game here.
Mondo is chipping away at shields. He's ripped 2 away. Camo's coming up as well. Mental's forced to push towards where the damage is being done, but
3 dead, you've got to be kidding me.
3 dead, RyaNoob. Maybe trying to get the camo here, but picks up a kill on the way, gets the camo. TSM 4 dead.
Is this how this is going to go?
RyaNoob in the hill with the camo. I think it might be the way this is going to go.
TSM's got to ask themselves, is this the way that this is going to go? And not just the game, I mean the entire series. They need to find a way to make this push work. Tie game here, and tied in hills as well.
They've got a touch of the Luminons by the sound of it, by the look of it, and also the feel of it. 30 seconds left on this game clock. RyaNoob still with his camo inside of the hill, moments away now from taking this game. Desperate push from TSM, not going to be able to make it happen, and Complexity,
you've got to be kidding
from
me,
the deepest of depths, somehow turn that game around and will call themselves winners. 1-0 is the score in the series. We'll be back in a few moments for game 2. Okay, everybody, wherever you may be watching, through the miracle of modern technology, by electricity, dark magic, and good magic, we bring to you game number 2 of this series. Complexity going to be up by 1 after, again, just seems like the story of the tournament at the moment. A crazy comeback win on Recharge King of the Hill. Down 2-1, managed to turn it around in the last seconds or so of both of those final hills to steal it away from TSM.
I mean, you and I kind of had our jaws dropped after that game number 1, and during the break just trying to figure out exactly what happened. It felt like TSM threw away so many opportunities, and not the only team to be throwing away opportunities. It's been a lot of comeback wins already just in day number 1 in Charlotte, and Complexity also leading in game 2 off the rip.
I called it a case of the Luminons, which I started to feel a bit bad about, not gonna lie, but still valid.
Oh, gonna be a double here.
Yep. Nice shots from Nick though. That's gonna be an opportunity now for TSM. So let's just take a second to get 4 back on the map. It's a good start here from Complexity, up by 2 at this point. Camo hasn't really been a factor. I think it was pretty sure it was burnt off of the rip.
Good bait and switch. Oh, good bait and switch, but honestly, KingNick just still trading the 1v2. Pretty impressive as well.
3 dead for TSM.
Yeah. TSM got to be worried here.
I would agree, because they're getting killed, staggered a little bit at the moment. Druk was just taken down. 3 players from TSM up. Luckily, Druk did somehow manage to get a trade in this situation.
Wow, look at the green gun avoid. I think he jumped over it like Super Mario style.
Yeah. See a lot of splashes from the energy bolt this event. People just see it coming and seem to be able to avoid it.
Yep. They want no part of it. Can't blame them.
Understandably so.
Can you imagine actually getting plastic pistol? Dear God.
Yes.
It's got the force, you know, think about it. It takes...
I don't think it's the force. I think it's the slow
burn.
Yeah.
2-kill game here, 16-14. TSM keeping this one close, but Complexity still managing a lead, but Manny's tickling your toes, and that's never going to be comfortable. Actually, it could be. Depends on.
Hey, we're not here to judge.
Depends on what you're into.
We support you in whatever your choices may be in life. 16-16 now, as the game will be tied up. I'm going to have to ask you, who's that song by? It's going to bug me otherwise.
Do you know?
No, that's why I'm asking. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think it is. Is it Ellie Goulding?
It is Ellie.
Okay.
Ellie Goulding, indeed.
Thank you for I worked that out.
Well done.
Camo go to TSM here. Manny's going to grab it. He's our Manny once again. Breaks out in Andy's head. Won't stop talking about that chant.
Good melee there. Going to be 4 dead on one side. Manny, the only player alive on the map. We have to wonder, maybe just enjoying his stroll. It feels like it's not as useful if you have camo when no one else is playing.
Yeah.
But he's going to be very excited that everyone's spawning again.
He's going to have to be careful here if he wants to get the most out of this camo. Still has someone to work with. Good damage initially. That's going to be Taulek, who's going to hit a perfect one to Cherished. Swing and a miss. And no trade. SoulSnipe finds 2, though, which will keep TSM in the lead here. 27-21. You have to say they did a pretty good job here, TSM. It's actually been a very impressive run for them in the last few minutes, considering they were down at the start of this game.
This has been convincing. I think TSM's right, kind of back on form. And you'd hope that at this stage, with the lead they have, and with even the map positioning that they have, should be able to maintain this and even expand upon the lead.
Any other tournament, I would, without doubt, agree with you. This tournament, I'd question everything I've ever known about Halo. I feel like at this point, someone will come back from 49-31.
It's true. It has been pretty wild. If you didn't catch it, the most recent FaZe Luminon series is one of the wildest matches we've seen, main stage or otherwise. In Halo Infinite, full play, actually just in Halo Infinite, period. Back and forth, so I agree. Oh, just one-shots are falling from the sky for Cherished, by the way. And just like that, it's back to a 4-kill game. 4 dead, make it a 3-kill game.
Yeah, I mean, it's turning on his head once more. You had to...
I'm going to stop guessing.
I respect you doing it for the people.
Stop guessing what's going to happen.
To saying that this game is, falling heavily in the way of TSM. I know you said that purely to bring this game a little bit closer for entertainment value.
Yeah, exactly.
Now Cherished is finding another one onto Taulek. Good damage coming in onto another player as well. However, he's going to have another player sliding in at him. And TSM, by bunkering up inside of that base, force Complexity to overextend and are able to trade efficiently enough to get some numbers on the map.
Ooh. Manny takes an angle, though, to maintain now a 5-kill lead. As TSM has rallied back, and if you're TSM, you want to maintain minimum something like a 3-kill lead on this home stretch. Just allow yourself to play the advantage, also play the timing, make sure you're the one dealing the first damage, getting the first pick, and they do that yet again at 37-32.
Oh, so important to keep control of the map and numbers as that camo comes up as well. And they're not going to be able to get this one because Complexity have snuck away like a thief in the night with this next camouflage. 38-32. That scoreline could change very, very quickly if Nick can have an influence here.
What can Nick do? Pops 2 shots. Not going to be enough to really get anyone moving around the map, so we'll see if he can go ahead and flank. He's going to find Druk. Let's see how he plays this. That can't happen.
Oh,
that cannot
happen. I think he was expecting a teammate to push up the pink streak and finish that. And then he got stuck in a situation where it's like,
had to take it, yeah.
Now I've delayed long enough that if Druk hits his shots, I'm losing this fight. But you are completely right in your assessment. That cannot happen.
Nope. Yeah, if you're the camo player dealing in that, especially in that scenario, and you're down by the margin that they are, you need to make sure you're not only converting but also not trading. And unfortunate to lose that, and it feels like there's a lot riding on the late game on that kill and on that push. And 2 dead yet again, 3 dead momentarily for TSM, so this will need to be a last-ditch effort from Complexity. They're down by 6.
Plasma pistol not going to be good enough. Complexity find the first kill, and it is a 5-kill game. It could very quickly turn into a 4-kill. However, a piece from Taulek and SoulSnipe is good enough to keep this lead in the hands of Complexity. 4 to go now.
Too comfortable in the late game here.
Oh dear.
46-43 though.
Let's not get desperate
And
now.
they keep Cherished alive. Let's see how they play this.
And now they're going to be split spawning as well. SoulSnipe gets a kill onto KingNick. It's going to be really important just to allow TSM to feel a bit more comfortable in this scoreline. 47-43 now. First pick important. RyaNoob might be that player to go down.
Not hit the G-slot off the block either. Couldn't tell if he was going for it, if it was just confusing bit of movement. 48-43, only 2 kills to go, make it 1.
TSM are going to know where the spawners are coming in as well, thanks to that death. Complexity trapped in and around blue and inside of the fridge. Nice little pre-nade is going to be good enough, and Nick will be the final victim here for TSM. It will be 1-1 in the series now. TSM will tie us up with a 50-46 win. We're back with game number 3, everybody. Welcome. If you were here with us before, welcome back. If you are just joining us, picked a good time as we're tied up at 1-1 in this series between TSM and Complexity. From Pool A, game number 1, of course, going over to Complexity, stealing it away. Like naughty boys. That game number 1, Recharge King of the Hill. Number 2, though, TSM completely controlled. And speaking of control, TSM don't have any right now because Complexity have completely wiped them. Opal should be going back towards them very, very soon, and it's because of this man on your screen hitting some very, very clean-looking shots.
Might as well just playing Sniping Simulator. I was wondering when people were going to start shooting them back. It didn't really ever happen, and in the end, they do get the clean 4 dead. Does not connect surprisingly on the Druk shot, though, and has to maybe play this or at least rotate.
Milk a little bit of time here. He's got a little bit of support from teammates. Now he's going to just throw that one out, avoid the grenades. Then he's going to come back and no-scope 1. Druk has been his nemesis so far, hasn't been able to connect. Druk is a slippery pickle, I tell you.
It continues. That was a loud thrust, though. In the end, finally will be taken down. It's 2 dead for TSM. 3 dead.
More ball time potentially here, but that play ball does take the ball a little bit further away from KingNick than where he would have wanted that situation. RyaNoob is going to be able to throw it and toss it back towards his teammates. First pick essentially shared between the two teams. Trade across the board leaves us 3v3. But Complexity is still with the high ground and the positional advantage here.
If KingNick can do this, we can trade in the end. Still 2 dead for Complexity. Not many points recorded just yet. It feels like that initial hold, no rotate through, was 3 dead, and now TSM will start scoring.
TSM with a similar setup towards, I would say actually an identical setup to watch Complexity were trying to put together a few moments ago. They're all trying to play circle at the moment. If you control this area of the map, it's so difficult to get across the map without having to take damage. That's why he was pushed up so far. Manny's going to be able to put TSM into a lead with that one time that he's managed to accrue. Beautiful little bank grenade will find 1, and the second he's cleaned up immediately. Taulek finds the 3 elsewhere. Last player alive is going to be on him. And he trades that as well. So 4 dead for Complexity. That's back-to-back 4 deads.
Wow.
And Druk has the odd ball in his hands, and now they've rotated it all the way through to blue.
Yeah,
to
really
red,
good.
excuse me.
Also, look at Manny's positioning as well. He's going to be able to anchor for them pretty well, and just with an outside hold, 3v3 on the map.
Cherished to find a pick here for Complexity, so they're going to be able to at least put some pressure onto the ball carrier, but pretty efficient. Full time actually picked up off the back of those kills, 34 seconds of it for TSM. Will give them essentially double the amount of points that Complexity managed to put on the board, with a very similar amount of slays in those first few moments. SoulSnipe trying to thrust towards the top window. Will turn around and help his teammate out, keep him alive, but elsewhere Cherished managed to find a kill before he went down. So 3v3 on the map. It's just a battle for numbers before anyone thinks about that ult.
Nick trying to stay alive with the peaks. A lot of help comes in. Cherished is your last player alive, but I think he's a spawner. He is. He's across the map, so that should be ball time.
TSM going to tick up towards the 40-point mark. SoulSnipe gets the first pick, and now I think Manny might turn his attention back to a little bit of odd ball time because of that. A little bit of a rotate coming out towards ice here, maybe thinking about more of a playable situation as he jumps onto the pipe, to the stick, instead he thrusts back, and RyaNoob with some really clean shots himself there, because that's one of those situations where it can get a little bit scary if you're on the receiving end.
By the way, RyaNoob and Nick rocking the not only United emblems, but also armors in the game you might have caught. Little throwback.
Second place in the first ever HCS major. Never forget.
Also pretty good looking armor indeed. see what he's able to do here. Should be able to clean up Druk. That's 2v2 on the map.
QT's out of there, RyaNoob. After doing some good damage, but he gets pancaked into the wall and then followed up by a bandit shot to be taken down. 45 to 46 now after a little bit of a hold for Complexity. This game is extremely close.
Yeah, back and forth between the two. And we knew the series would be close, and it has so far delivered if you're just joining us. Game number 1 and narrowly stolen out from Complexity. King of the Hill recharge. TSM looking very good in game number 2, however, has tied us up at 1-1. And feels like there's a lot riding on the series. I think we knew it would be a good one, but I think it's even closer than a lot of people might have expected.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is two teams which feel like they're on somewhat of an even level when it comes to results, but a little bit of a different trajectory when it comes to what you may be expecting at this event and the World Championships. Complexity on the up and up. TSM just seem to be a little bit stagnant where they've been in recent times. With the ball in his hands now, Taulek is going to be the player to try and drag TSM into a round victory here. 66 points on the board for them. They've managed to just a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah, and I think if you're TSM, you need to make sure that your pool play here is, is really solid. They'll continue scoring, but I'm not gonna lie, a team that has just beat FaZe and Optic online, I don't expect them to lose that game number 1 in the way that they did. It's given me a little bit of concern of what TSM are we going to get in each game type, because there's times where they look brilliant against Shopify, and then they kind of play that game number 1 the way that they did. So I think they're going to need to instill some belief that they can find, which I think is kind of the term that you use for this team, is like find that old championship form at the end of Halo Infinite, right? There's only so much left here in these two events. They now lead, though, 81 to 51 in the round number 1.
Great shots, peak shots coming in from Cherished, and RyaNoob will follow that kill up with another for Complexity, but Manny with the double from just that single frag grenade that was lovingly rolled down bottom middle. Will give Complexity an opportunity to get some numbers, but now finds himself as last alive, and with his shields being stripped away, it's going to be TSM with a chance to grab this ball. I think SoulSnipe was looking to maybe repulse that ball a little bit closer to a teammate. Eventually a teammate will pick it up. And TSM move closer and closer to closing out this round.
Nice job by SoulSnipe to stay alive. That was not easy in the tunnel. Ends up with a nice 1v1 win as well. SoulSnipe, the last player alive, though, so it will be 4 dead. Druk's your first spawner, but this will be time. Druk, look at it, wasting no time. Brilliant damage. And even though he doesn't get the kill, it's enough to buy the team a lot of space on the map.
And get the oddball out of the hands of Complexity. They had to go guns up instead of oddball in hand. If you're in the lead, that is a perfect play from Druk, and it's something that he's historically been very good at, putting that pressure on.
Yeah, really nicely done. Nick, though, wins key battle. That's 4 dead. So just when we thought that TSM might be able to grab off of the aggression, maybe one final hold, instead the game is now within 20.
36 seconds, left in this round. Clock will be stopped as Complexity will continue to hold this oddball in their possession. And oh no, TSM, not again, is what you're thinking, but Taulek finds a sniper rifle and he finds a double kill as well. That's 4 dead for Complexity. We mentioned how this event has felt like one of resilience so far on day 1. Maybe TSM are finding a little bit of that themselves now.
Only 9 points to go. They just need to hold this off. The right amount of damage, a body shot or 2. There's 1. Should be able to do it.
Last players are trying to push across bottom mid. They're not going to get anywhere near that oddball, and TSM will be able to close out round number 1 here. A very solid push from them in the final moments of that game when they were really under pressure from Complexity.
Indeed. The fact that we finally see them icing up, I think, is important for this team. And maybe that game number 1 stung a bit, and you'd hope if you're a TSM fan that it did, because shouldn't be losing games in that fashion if we're honest. And they now, since then, have looked quite good.
Dead for TSM, and that 4 dead for TSM. Last player alive, last players alive are going to be Cherished and RyaNoob. RyaNoob immediately gets that oddball in their possession. The early scoring for Complexity, much like in round number 1. Cherished taking an aggressive position top middle here. We'll be able to find out a lot of information on spawns. SoulSnipe managed to sneak through here. Druk finds one elsewhere. SoulSnipe will be taken down, but it's a 2v2, and Cherished has to QT out just to stay alive.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he didn't really have a good QT route there. He was going to kind of go to a very similar sightline triple kill for Taulek.
Oh! Taulek! That's a beautiful shot for the overkill. And that is going to peel the oddball out of the hands of Complexity. This man we talked about, he's starting to heat up.
Really nicely done. Also, didn't catch the... another one, not done yet. You're going to see the full spree on your screen. And just like that, it's a lead change off of Taulek getting 5 straight kills.
He's heating up! The run continues. Nick might be next. Body shot onto Mental as well. And that has allowed TSM to take the lead now in this round, 23-21.
Man.
SoulSnipe getting in on the action now.
By the way, that was 21-7 when that run began, so just paves the way for his team. But KingNick wants to also put on a show. He will be out of snipe ammo, but does enough to get his team once again back in the lead. It will be a lead change yet again.
And a lot had to be done for TSM to get back into this round. An overkill from Taulek, follow-up kills as well. The Complexity steadied the ship a little bit here, 35-23. They're continuing to score with that oddball. Good damage coming in from Nick, but the kills are going the way of TSM again. Mental will at least make the numbers a little bit more even. As Cherished comes off the spawn and wins his fight on Circle against Druk. Manny on the cargo though, he's going to win his, and this is just, again, it's just a scrap to see who can get most players on the map before even thinking about that oddball.
Yeah, it really is. Interestingly, in this game, sometimes you see a little bit more rotation kind of simultaneous with the slaying. You're right, this has really been more of a prerequisite. We must slay, only then can we think about the ball. I think both teams could probably be a little bit more efficient than they're being, but right now Complexity is still leading in the second round.
Taulek just looking for targets at the moment. I'm sure he'd love to have that sniper rifle back in his hands, and it's popping up in around 5 seconds time. One melee connects, the second one does not, and that's going to be 3 dead for TSM. Complexity with the ball back in their hands immediately, and the sniper might be going to RyaNoob here. He'll look for the trade, doesn't get it. SoulSnipe should get a little present for winning that one.
I thought he might even just go for like the wait and then delay and bait the snipe. Bait the snipe and then try to play it. Doesn't go for either, and in the end, gonna lose that, as you say, 51-23 here in favor of Complexity.
Not the first time we've seen Druk struggling statistically here on Lattice. 9-20 in this game, which is a huge outlier.
And least assists on the team as well. Pretty rare to see that from Druk.
Really struggling to find a level of comfort, I think, in comparison to some of the other maps that we do have in Halo Infinite. Taulek going to be taken down as well. Complexity still with this ball in their hands, by the way. 67 points now and rising. And if they continue like this, we might see a round going their way and tied up before we head to a deciding one.
Yeah, I tell you what, as neutral fans of the game and just want to see the most competitive, it's good to see Complexity bouncing back and see there's still quite a bit of work to do in this one. RyaNoob going to try to hold window and hold up another battle. Manages to get the trade. That's nicely done. Manny is your last player alive.
Last player alive. Oddball should be in the hands of Complexity and is almost immediately. 73 points and rising. Trades are going to be good enough here for Complexity to just gather just a little bit more time. Mental trying to play in and around the circle. Takes a bit of damage and now becomes the flanker instead of the frontline player. Finds one. The other person just snuck through before he could pick him up. It was SoulSnipe actually who managed to do that. The ball has been rotated ever so slightly away by RyaNoob. 86 points on the board.
Oh, my shots!
That's another death to the tally.
Crazy shots there coming in. TSM trying to mount a comeback though, and slowly putting points on the board. Keep an eye on the kill feed. This will probably determine the direction this goes. TSM gets the first pick.
TSM only got 1 or 2 more mistakes in them before this is a Complexity round, but like you say, they're starting to just find their feet. This is a big 1v1. SoulSnipe's going to lose this one. Has no idea where RyaNoob's position. And Taulek has to hit some really good shots to just back him up. RyaNoob's shooting really well in this game. Currently sat at 25 and 21, positive 4, good assists and good ball time for him as well.
Only moments away here, 97 on the board. Final ticks for Complexity.
This is going to be Complexity sending us to a deciding round number 3. They do manage to take round 2. Well, that felt like a Complexity round. A lot of time that TSM spent in the death screen, not just 1 or 2 dead, it felt like a 3 and a 4 was happening far too often for their liking.
Yeah, I tell you what, it feels like just as soon as we started talking about how TSM was maybe finding form and composure and what they needed, instead, Complexity proves that they've, in many ways, oh my goodness, what a strange battle. Not sure where to begin with that one.
We don't know where to begin, but we know where it ended.
We do.
As TSM will be the first team to get their hands on the oddball this time around. SoulSnipe with the QT as well, so he's going to be able to just extend out a little bit more aggressively than other players on the map. Damage onto 2 players, but no kill going to be picked up. Taulek has the sniper rifle and he's going to have some responsibility here.
Wow.
He takes the responsibility on his shoulders, finds one there onto Cherished.
Nice job, good routes. Oh, speaking of routes, completely catches KingNick off guard. That's going to be 3 dead, and it's the initial 16 points on the board. Oh my. This is what you can do with this weapon on this map.
Oh, Taulek is having a little run again. Misses this one, has the thrust to play with as well. That's recharging. It will be available right now, so he can be a little bit more aggressive. Still has a bullet left in the sniper rifle as well, but no time to speak of.
Not even time, not even a touch, and I'm not going to lie. While I love what I just saw from Taulek and I love the spree and the control, I'm not going to lie, it's pretty wild that during that 3 dead, no teammate was in any position to get the ball, and I actually have a hard time believing it. Yeah, that's what I would say.
It happened. Luckily, we have the video evidence. That's Taulek. Some free rhinoplasty to RyaNoob with that sniper rifle.
Very efficient, though, since then, here at 31-0. TSM making sure to convert the control into points in the end. Lots of time left still in the round, though. We'll see if Complexity can find some composure on one of these pushes. They'll get their first time on the ball.
One thing I think that separated the 2 teams, just as notable kind of strategy from what we've seen in the first couple of rounds, is when Complexity get a 2 or 3 dead, they're immediately on top of that oval. Very, very efficient. They scrap it into 5-10 seconds, which really does add up in a game time which is so fast-paced as this. TSM looking for something a little bit more perfect. And this round, it looks like it's starting to work for them. 44 points and rising now. The QT back in from RyaNoob. He wants a second kill here. He QT's back out and manages to get the second kill as well. It's brilliance from RyaNoob.
Even gets the crafty Hail Mary off the QT. Big fan of the move. It's a whiff on the first one, though, and that will finally cost him, and he will eventually be taken down. He's positive by just 1 in this game so far. Druk still dealing damage from the back, and they still lead 48-1 now.
50 points already on the board here for TSM.
Enemy halfway to victory.
Gotta note that even though Druk still trailing heavily in the kills category, it is worth noting he is now tied for most assists on the team, which is quite a swing from, you know, being the most negative and the least assists. He certainly has been dealing damage and been a big factor in this round without a doubt.
It started to come to life a little bit here, which has allowed TSM to just match the slays the Complexity had in that previous. Drop them over the pivot point for damage, just outputting damage onto numerous players. He knows there's multiple targets he's going to have to worry about. TSM put that ball down for a second to turn their attention to these kills and the slays that they have to find. RyaNoob wins his individual battle against Druk. Our ball going to be grabbed immediately by Complexity. With 3 dead, you can see how efficient they want to be. Even though 75 points are on the board, Complexity break once and immediately have that ball in their hands.
Manny was hoping to get anything, maybe a little bit of damage, maybe a little bit of melee or something in the end, or a death stick, but unable to do so. So that is, as you say, going to allow Complexity to get time on the board here.
Some 3 shots here for KingNick as well. So if he hits a few more bodies, as TSM find themselves 3 dead, we could be talking about a game getting very, very close in a deciding round number 3 here.
Yeah, far from over. This one. Even though it's 47-1, just like that, it's a much closer game at 75-35.
Nick misses the shots, but RyaNoob and Mental are winning their individual fights. That's another one being won by Mental. 3 dead for TSM, and look at that score. It is starting to get scary for TSM fans. We've been here before in game number 1, and with Cherished finding the first pick again, we might be going here again in game 3.
Yeah, what does TSM do here? They're in a 3v4. They have to go for a hero play, and it looks like going to try to force it on Cargo. Might even make for an easy rotate of the ball. Cherished working together. Mental picks up 2, by the way.
Yeah, Mental's going off. Nick outputting damage everywhere he looks as well.
Are you kidding me?
Onto the thrusting player. That is a dialed-in acceleration setting.
That is unbelievable. I mean, to match a thrust that way on a controller is pretty remarkable.
Complexity about to go into a lead here. They were down by around 60 points.
Yes.
And they have overturned the score that TSM put on the board. Still they hold the ball. Still TSM can't get it out of their hands. Finally, Complexity have to put the ball down. As Manny and Druk combine for a kill down on bottom middle. RyaNoob does clean up one. That's a killing spree for him. A double kill inside of the base. He's looking for more as well. Wants to protect that odd ball, knowing that if they win these fights, then they might win this round. But TSM do have an element of control and have the odd ball back.
Cherished wants to play off the damage if he can. They're not there fast enough. They fly in, but they get in trouble. This could be bad for Complexity.
Manny grabs the odd ball again. It's a 3v3, but the Complexity members are a long way away from where this odd ball is being held. Got to get the lead. Got to get the lead at least here. You're running the ball, but you've got to get that extra second or two, and then make Complexity overextend. Taulek gets one kill here for TSM. 82 to 81, a single point between the two teams in a deciding round 3.
2 dead here. RyaNoob comes around the corner. A lot of presence here. KingNick probably gets the trade. He does. 2 dead still for TSM.
Odd ball is on the Complexity side of the map. RyaNoob almost turns 1 into 2 very, very quickly with some astute listening across the map to the callouts coming from the teammate. Druk takes some damage. RyaNoob now starting to get a little bit aggressive, not allowing TSM to get comfortable and put the numbers on the map for a 4-man push hit.
Man, this is getting nervy. You kind of feel like both teams know that this series could just hinge on this game type. 82 to 81 still.
Odd ball's reset top middle as well. 3 dead for TSM. Complexity, you've got to get the ball though.
Uh-oh. Manny
They need this point.
Manny got heavy pressure. That nade probably doesn't hit. Ball doesn't even need to be tossed. It's a lead change now. Complexity back in the lead.
Less than a minute left on the game clock as well. TSM have to make a push, have to get this ball out of the hands of the man on your screen. Manny will find one. And now RyaNoob has to turn his attention to staying alive. It's 3 dead for Complexity, and TSM have broken.
He waits so long. There was no even play ball attempt, no even drop and shoot attempt. It must have been a lack of communication, lack of awareness about map positioning, because this could be it.
Taulek finds the kill onto Mental. That's going to be 3 players now for Complexity to try and desperately get across the map. It doesn't look like they're going to be close enough.
Wow.
And TSM will pull out the win here in a round 3 of Oddball on Lattice. That's a crazy one to watch back.
And I'm not going to lie, I can't help but say the Complexity threw it away. I don't understand the timing. There was no drop and shoot. It felt like they got caught off guard. It's a great final push from TSM. We'll be right back with game number 4.
Flying around the venue that nothing will beat a Jet 2 holiday. Well, how about a game 4 between Complexity and TSM to try and take that title away? It is 2-1 to TSM at the moment after a comeback win, you have to say. Once again, a little bit of a sloppy end to the game from Complexity in the Lattice oddball, which allowed TSM to steal it away. And now we find ourselves on live fire with a little bit of strongholds to play.
Couldn't agree more. Don't take your family of 4 to Menorca when you could take them to the HCS Major in Charlotte, North Carolina. A much better time, without a doubt. 2 dead off the break for TSM.
Gonna be a triple cap early here for Complexity. A, B, and C. Much better in my alphabet than I am my numbers. All in control of Complexity is RyaNoob nerds, as he does best by flying in to the bottom tower and hit a little no-scope beatdown combo. And now he spots out the camo, but doesn't get the trade. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if that was me, I would be nothing short of miffed.
You'd also be screaming.
Yeah, that's true.
And blaming
anything
BT
but myself.
Internet?
Yeah. Yeah, Is
that your internet?
Yeah, British Telecom did supply me with my connection to the world.
If you got that big tower, you'd think it would be good for something.
It's been turned into a hotel.
Yeah, because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But, like, it didn't work anyway.
So you thought I was lying? Now you know why. I'm connecting to a hotel.
To get your internet. Gosh.
Certainly some holes in the infrastructure. TSM, though, managing to turn a triple cap that they were fighting against into a triple cap of their own now. A beatdown coming in from SoulSnipe is going to put Complexity 3 dead, and the scores are going to be very even very quickly. It's triple cap followed by triple cap between the two teams.
KingNick trying to push up dummies, likely took a fair bit of damage from that. SoulSnipe is curious about it. You could tell by the look on his face. We can't see his face, but you can imagine.
We can see him from here.
Yeah, you can.
We can't see him from here.
No, we can't see anything from here. We actually can't tell you about our location.
But we're not in the BT tower.
Thank God. Because it was too expensive a hotel.
Yeah, we can't afford
that hotel.
Especially in that area of London.
True.
ANC still in the control of TSM. And scoring now continuing for them, and they have a 73 to 58 point lead. Looks like Complexity are making a move onto A, as TSM will try and rotate towards B to turn that back in to their favor. RyaNoob has a little bit of a flank here at back green, but the conversion already happened and the trade will come in from SoulSnipe. Camo coming up as well. You can see the Complexity are flying 2 members of the squadron down towards it to secure it. With that trade, should be able to use it, but I'm pretty sure that Nick got taken down with that camo.
Yeah, I think he did as well. It's going to be another trade across the map as well. It's a killjoy in the end to end that spree. RyaNoob temporarily, for just a second, was the only player alive on the squad and gets splash damage in the rat tunnel.
Yeah, that man just got exploded.
Exploded. Perfectly accurate term.
Big 1v1 win by Cherished, and Complexity needed that because they've been under the cosh for the last few moments of this game, now doubling the score of their opponent's TSM. It's going to be another beatdown that follows to look to put Complexity more into the death screen. Cherished almost ate a bullet to the teeth, but instead just dropped the shoulder at the right second to have that whiz past. But TSM just out-rotating at the moment, and it's just because of the constant numbers advantage they've had.
Mental going to try to make something happen, and this is only 2-7 in this game. I feel like compared to the Mental we know, been a bit quiet in the series overall. And right now also find themselves trailing by nearly 100.
Have to see the Billy Goat find something special. If Complexity want to find their way back into this, it's the secondary triple cap of this game. Even though it's only going to be temporary, those points go extremely quickly into the bank. And at 155 and rising, TSM look like they're starting to find that teamwork, starting to find that cohesion, and with a sniper rifle in the hands of SoulSnipe, he might be able to defend B single-handedly here.
Trying to keep his eyes trained. 2 players at B, so now B will eventually be flipped, and SoulSnipe's going to have to figure out what to do with Mud and back tower. There's a lot of pressure on Nest as well.
Oh,
that's one
arrived, I was going to say, and he had to hit a big shot onto RyaNoob to take him down. 2 members from TSM flood the back of tower, and even though Complexity have done well to fight out of what has been a difficult few moments for them, it's a long way to go to bring this score back. A and B is in their control, but TSM making a play onto B here with 2 players alive.
Ooh, gets shut down, though, in a big way. SoulSnipe needs to try to finish this if he doesn't, and I don't know if he has the timing. He doesn't. That's a risky play, and they kind of all into that push, and they're still 2 dead. Gonna lose C here as well.
Yeah, going to be a flip of A and C. Spawners over A will be able to control that for TSM as Complexity will take C away. So the double cap for Complexity will slowly but surely, methodically, just close that gap a little bit between the 2 scores. Those 2 kills going their way. Maybe they're thinking of flipping the map a little bit here. Manny's going to try and make the solo play onto B. Great shots coming in from Cherished. And they're going to be able to reset this and keep the scoring going in their favor.
Looks like TSM can tend to, when they have a sizable lead, start to make a little bit desperate maneuvers like that. I don't think they need to be all-inning B so hard in the way that they are. It's cost them quite a bit of time now, and what was a 100-point lead is now just a 50-point lead.
It's going to be 4 dead for them as well if Manny's taken down. This will be a triple cap for Complexity, and Mental, the man we wanted to highlight here, is needing to just step up the pace a little bit when it comes to the slays. Well, he's got himself a camo, and with a triple cap in effect, they'll be able to split these TSM spawners all the way across the map. They get the first kill, they know where everyone else is because they've just converted B, and it's just a case of sending 4 on 2 here and taking this stronghold back.
Complexity has earned this, and also it feels like TSM has just let this happen. Just finding themselves in the wrong position, not taking the time that they need to. It's another double from Mental. By the way, he was just -5. He's +1 now. It's a great streak and a great spree from Complexity.
And they're going to be able to get the reset on A as well. The continual triple cap is now starting to hurt TSM considerably. Mental has to use his abilities to take to the skies, not just once, but twice with this repulse.
And he gets out of there.
Avoids a couple of snipe shots as well. And Mental just playing his life perfectly here. AB still held by Complexity, and the scoring will still be in their favor. They go into the lead.
That's Mental going, and sorry, I gotta go. And let's just said a huge lead change. By the way, they were down by 100, and TSM has been, oh, Manny though, with a wild mud angle. Very nicely done. Not gonna be so easy against Cherished, so we'll be 2 dead momentarily, but as we said, it's been a lead change. TSM now gonna try to get the lead back and even go for the trip, but a 1v3 is not gonna be easy.
1 bullet to work with here for SoulSnipe as TSM will start to score. They're looking to exchange B for A and play the ends of the map at the moment. Nick's got to be very, very careful because he's essentially pinched between the entire TSM roster.
Yep.
They spot him out. Now the numbers advantage is heavily for TSM.
Made a bit too much noise there. Nick might have gotten away with something by shooting the gun. Alerted his opponents to his whereabouts.
TSM are fighting back in this one, though. And now we're starting to see the game get a little bit more scrappy. People getting desperate for a 2 cap just to stop scoring. Nobody feeling confident enough to go for all 3-4 kills, get a clean squad wipe in order to push the triple knowing the risks that can have at a tight moment in this game. 203 to 172. It's going to be TSM still scoring, but look at Complexity working on B as SoulSnipe moves his attention towards C.
Yep, A flipping as well. So A will flip, which means an A-B hold momentarily for Complexity. They will be scoring yet again. And they still have the man advantage for just a second. Some pre-nades on the mud jump. They're aware of mental.
Got the audio.
Taking them down just yet. They will in the end take them down.
Just got the audio on that nade connecting. And now TSM try and work their way up the map. They're trying to pinch onto these players at B here. SoulSnipe's got to play his life. Manny's going to be there alongside Taulek to get those kills. And you would imagine in a few moments, see B starting to convert, reset onto C, and with 4 dead Complexity, find themselves in a familiar position, backs against the wall in the late game.
What can they do here? Only 40 points to go for TSM to close this one out. Needs to make sure they're not only getting the right damage, but also just getting across the map. First pick is a big deal, though.
SoulSnipe's going to find one alongside his teammate Manny. 2 dead, 4 Complexity, no shields, top tower dealt with immediately. TSM starting to find the teamwork, starting to find the flow, and most importantly, keeping the points flowing. As they will cross 230 now to 196. One more team win in the fighting department, and TSM will close this series out.
Man, despite the first pick there from Complexity, it just completely falls apart in the end, and as you say, working on B is Mental. They do get the kill on Manny, which is a big deal. Mental needs to stay alive and finish this. Hasn't done so yet, but will in the end. Not over, but needs to be perfect here from Complexity.
1v1, both players no shields. Taulek with no shields finds 2. It's 4 dead for TSM though.
Do they go C here? Do they go?
I think spawn is already up.
Yep.
They can't go to C yet. TSM already out of spawn, already pushing across towards A. As Mental has his reticle trained upon it, that snipe bridge.
He knows the pressure didn't come, so now he's going to make the push, and they do get the first pick. They get the second pick as well. TSM. This is dangerous here, very dangerous territory.
Flipping the ends of the map by the looks of things. Taulek is in B though, and Taulek is converting B. The race is on here for Mental to try and deny it. Doesn't get it. This 1v1 could be really important, but RyaNoob elsewhere. He's found a double kill, but Manny puts Mental on his back. Shots are starting to get shaky here. TSM only need 5 points.
A will flip. Keep an eye on C now. That's the big question. Where does C go? However, can Taulek interrupt this B hold with Manny? Those kills are going to be traded out. 1v1 against Cherished now.
Just pop that nade and pop the shields. There's 1. There's 2. Brilliant from Taulek. When the pressure is on, he finds the kills he needs to. And even though Complexity were momentarily scoring, TSM now controls C, or will do in a few moments' time. Taulek needs to play his life at B perfectly and takes down RyaNoob.
That's exactly what he does. B not finished. Putting on a clinic here, and that's going to be it. Not necessarily the prettiest of victories to the game nor the series, but it's 250 to 239 is your final score, and TSM will take the series with a score of 3-1.